I'd like to talk about two things many people struggle with: how to overcome chronic self-loathing and how to break the habit of giving up after just 3 days. Now, to be fair, everyone falls into self-loathing from time to time, but when it becomes a habit, it can be really harmful. So, first, what exactly is self-loathing? It's that feeling of hatred or disgust toward yourself, often mixed with a chronic sense of inferiority or guilt. Some people might just say, "I don't like myself," but the truth is, it's not such a simple emotion. It runs deeper than that. If you often feel inferior, guilty, or constantly frustrated with yourself, then you might be stuck in a habitual pattern of self-loathing. So where does this come from? Research shows that many of these patterns stem from negative experiences in childhood, like being harshly criticized by parents or others, experiencing abuse, or being subjected to unrealistically high expectations. Think of kids who grow up with a tiger mom or a super strict parent who's a company CEO, always saying things like, "You better grow up to be a great leader." That kind of pressure leaves a lasting impact. Humans are interesting. When we meet expectations and go beyond them, we feel satisfaction. But if we're always being compared to standards we can't reach, we start judging ourselves against those unrealistic expectations. Even high achievers, people who are smart, good-looking, or well-educated, can feel like they're not good enough. It's not that they lack ability, it's just that their internal self-image has been shaped by those early pressures and comparisons. Over time, this leads to the buildup of negative self-beliefs, which then turn into a habit of self-loathing. So, how do we fix this? One effective approach is to use tools like cognitive behavioral therapy or self-compassion techniques. These help you untangle the layers of self-denial and negativity that have built up since childhood. Today, I'm going to share 3 techniques to help overcome the habit of self-loathing, 2 quick-acting tools, and 1 long-term approach. Quick technique number 1, journaling. In short, you write down your thoughts and feelings. Basically, you make them visible. People with self-loathing habits often have negative thoughts swirling in their heads. These become automatic and deeply ingrained. So instead of letting that cycle continue in your mind, write it down. Use a notebook, diary, or even your phone. When you notice a negative thought, jot it down. Then reflect. What triggered this feeling? Did someone ignore you at work? Did a friend make a rude comment? Identify the trigger. When you write these things out, you may start to realize, wait, isn't this thought a little extreme? Or, okay, my boss ignored me, but that doesn't mean I'm worthless. By putting these thoughts on paper, you create space between you and your thoughts. You can now respond with reason and compassion, instead of letting the negativity spiral out of control. Doing this regularly helps you see your thinking patterns clearly and recognize when your brain is jumping to irrational conclusions. Backed by research, studies show that writing down your negative self-talk reduces the emotional stress caused by it. It actually helps you feel less overwhelmed. There's even research showing that people who journal, especially when analyzing their emotions, are mentally more stable than those who don't. Think about it. People going through job hunting stress, a breakup, or hormonal changes can benefit from this kind of emotional processing. For example, many women say hormonal shifts affect their mood and relationships, sometimes even leading to breakups. In those situations, journaling can help reduce unnecessary conflict and create emotional balance. So definitely give it a try. It's a simple, powerful first step. Quick technique 2. Talk to yourself like a friend. This one is all about changing your inner voice. People who fall into self-loathing often speak to themselves in harsh, critical ways. "You're so stupid. Why can't you do anything right? You're a failure." But think about it. Would you ever talk to your best friend like that? Probably not. So the technique is simple. Whenever you catch yourself being self-critical, stop and ask, if my friend were in this situation, what would I say to them? Maybe you'd say, "You made a mistake, but it doesn't define who you are. It's okay to mess up. It happens to everyone." By switching your inner dialogue from a bully to a supportive friend, you're practicing something called self-compassion. And self-compassion isn't just being soft. Studies show it's one of the most powerful ways to build emotional resilience, motivation, and even better decision-making. Over time, this gentle and encouraging inner voice replaces the old critical one, and that helps you break the automatic cycle of self-loathing. It may feel awkward at first, but the more you practice, the more natural it becomes. Long-term strategy. Redefine your worth. This one takes more time, but it's the most important. Many people struggling with self-loathing have unconsciously tied their self-worth to achievements, appearance, or other people's approval. But true self-worth can't be built on such unstable things, because all of those can change. So here's what you do. Start redefining your self-worth based on your values, not your outcomes. Ask yourself, what kind of person do I want to be? What do I stand for? What qualities matter to me? Kindness, curiosity, honesty, courage. Now, start recognizing those moments when you act in alignment with your values, even in small ways, when you helped a colleague, when you showed up even though you felt anxious, when you chose honesty over avoidance. These small, value-driven choices are evidence of your worth, not how much you achieve today or how perfect you are. Building a sense of worth this way takes time, but it's stable, deep, and unshakable. And the more you live aligned with your values, the less you'll feel like your worth depends on being flawless or impressing others.